Ever wondered why boys generally seem more boisterous than girls? Or why girls typically mature faster? Well, it's not just about societal norms or upbringing. It's also deeply rooted in biology and psychology. For instance, boys on average have higher metabolic rates, which means they burn energy at a faster pace. This can make them appear more physically active, or as some might say, boisterous. Now let's talk about maturity. It's often observed that girls mature faster than boys, and there's a scientific explanation for this too. Research indicates that the brains of girls tend to develop earlier than those of boys. This can result in girls reaching emotional and cognitive maturity at a younger age. But remember, these are broad strokes. Everyone is unique, and individual differences can be vast. These are just some of the fascinating differences between boys and girls, but there's more to uncover. Did you know that boys and girls have different ways of perceiving color and sound? It's a fascinating little nugget of truth that we're going to dive into now. Let's start with taste. Girls generally have a better sense of taste. How so, you ask? Well, studies have shown that girls are often more able to distinguish between different flavors. That's right. Girls might be the secret weapon you need to win that blindfolded taste test at your next party. They can differentiate between subtle flavors that boys might miss. Who knew? Now, moving on to color. You might be surprised to learn that girls can generally differentiate more colors than boys. So, if you've ever had a heated debate about whether something is light blue or turquoise, it might just be because girls are seeing more shades. It's like they have their very own built-in sophisticated color palette. Then, there's sound. Boys, it appears, are typically more sensitive to loud sounds. So if your brother always complains about the music being too loud, there's a good reason for that. It's not just an excuse to get you to turn down your favorite tunes, it's a matter of biology. But that's not all. Boys are more likely to be left-handed or colorblind. If you've ever wondered why there are more left-handed boys in your class, or why your brother can't tell the difference between red and green, it's in the genes. These traits are genetic and passed down through families. It's interesting, isn't it? All these differences make us unique and fascinating in our own ways. These aren't just quirks or coincidences, they're a part of who we are. And remember, these unique traits aren't just mere folklore, they're backed by science. While boys and girls have their own unique traits, they also share some striking similarities. Let's delve into these shared traits that make us all human. Firstly, regardless of gender, we all have the ability to express emotions and feelings. From the joy of achieving a goal to the sadness of disappointment, these shared emotional experiences remind us of our common humanity. Next, we come to empathy. Empathy isn't exclusive to one gender or another. It's a universal trait that allows us to understand and share the feelings of others, and it's something both boys and girls possess in abundance. Finally, we all have a need for social interaction. We're social creatures by nature, craving connections with others. Whether it's a heart-to-heart conversation or a fun-filled day out, boys and girls alike cherish these shared moments. So, as you see, while we may have our unique traits and quirks, these commonalities bridge the gap, reminding us that despite our differences, we're not that different after all. Understanding these facts can help us appreciate the unique qualities of both genders. As we wrap up, let's recap what we've learned today. We dove into the intriguing differences between boys and girls, exploring how our brains, bodies, and behaviors often differ in fascinating ways. We then uncovered some lesser-known facts that surprised us and challenged some common stereotypes. We also highlighted the shared similarities between boys and girls, reminding us that despite our differences, we have more in common than we might think. Emphasizing these shared traits fosters unity and understanding. Remember, it's essential to respect the differences and similarities between boys and girls. Recognizing this diversity enriches our interactions and relationships, and it helps us better understand the world around us. It's these variations that make our lives interesting and colorful. Remember, every boy and girl is unique in their own way, and that's what makes us all special. Let's celebrate these differences and similarities because they make us who we are.